Namaste everyone. I'm Dr. Sophia Rangwala. Um, Before I go ahead and share with you what I want to tell you today in this video, I would like to give a short introduction about myself and a brief history about my life, okay? So, I'm from a Shia Bohri Muslim background. I was born and brought up, I was born in India, and I was about 2 years old when my mother took me to Kuwait, and I did all my primary education in Kuwait. So I was given intense Islamic study education, and I was taught how to pray, I was taught the Quran. So I was brought up in a typical conventional Muslim manner, okay? Um, However, I had a lot of questions in my mind, and I couldn't relate to the way of Islamic teaching. I'm not against it, but they didn't make sense to me because a lot of my questions were not answered through Islamic manner, and so I started losing faith. Okay, going forward, I came to India to pursue my medical education because I believed in science so much more, and I wasn't sure about the existence of God. I was agnostic, I was atheist, I kept fluctuating. So I stopped caring about God and his ways because I used to be very angry at God for a lot of injustice that I would see in the world, and there was Islam doesn't believe in the law of karma. So I did not have my answers. Okay, so I did my medical education from Manipal, ranked as one of the best colleges in India, and then I did my master's in dermatology, again from Manipal Group in Bangalore. So I'm a very scientific person. I'm an allopathy doctor, and I was very successful in my practice. I had a very high-end laser skin clinic. I was doing very well. And then something changed. In 2015, I was going through a lot of stress, so I started doing meditation. And as I started doing meditation, in the very beginning itself, I would meditate for half an hour, 1 hour, and it was getting deeper. And after that, in that same year in 2015, I did an intense hypnotherapy course. My subconscious mind opened up. I had glimpses of past lives now. Whether they're really past lives or what it was back then, I did not judge. I just left it, and I thought, okay, jo hai, so hai, it's okay. Then I started getting some messages in my meditation, and I was stunned. I questioned it because I was always very skeptical because of my logical mind, and I didn't start meditation for seeking God or for some spiritual reason. It was purely just to calm down my mind. But then spiritual things began to happen. So I got one day a very profound message, and I was stunned, and I asked the universe, I'm like, okay, if you really exist, who is speaking to me, in my head, then show me something tangible, which I cannot refuse. I want to see something. I want to see an external sign, right? If you're that powerful, then you can show it to me. And so it began. I started seeing 333. It was everywhere. Right after I gave out this message, it was in my face. 333, 4 times 3. I would wake up at 3:33 a.m. exactly at night. I would see 3:33 p.m. I would see, I was very active on Facebook, so I would see a lot of likes and, 333, 3,333. I've got bills with 333. I have seen number plates with 333. This went on for a year, and this was way beyond coincidence. This was not confirmation bias. This was not something my mind was conjuring up. Apart from this, there were some other things also which came to light. Initially, I had a lot of struggle to accept them, but then certain divine gifts which I am born with, they surfaced up. I cannot elaborate that on this video, but some of you who know me, they know what I'm talking about. So I had a hard time accepting a lot of things which started coming to me one by one, and then something else happened. I started getting detached from allopathy, from my own practice, because I started understanding the power of the body and its healing mechanism, and that I knew that giving drugs to treat chronic condition is not the way to treat any condition. That we are not just this gross physical body. There is energy body, there are thoughts, there are emotions, and then there is our soul, and all of that needs to be addressed for a person to become all right. My patients weren't ready to listen to any of this when I would recommend them. Some of them did, most of them didn't. I started getting frustrated, and I quit my practice. So I threw away everything that I had worked for all my life. Since the age of 6 years old, all that I ever wanted to be was a doctor. And when I was at the pinnacle of my success, at the age of 38, I started losing interest. And just when I was there, I didn't want it anymore. And I started letting go of it. It was just very effortless, and I was guided as well. I receive a lot of divine guidance in my meditation, and I believe in that now. So by 2018, I closed down my practice, I quit it, and since then I have been in strict isolation. My vairagya set in way before, but then the last 2 years it has been extreme, wherein I cut off completely from social media. No mainstream media, no news, nothing. I would not go out, I wouldn't meet people, I live alone, I do my own things, and so on. So I knew this corona-like kind of situation was coming. I did not know a virus would induce it, but I was aware that something major is coming for humanity, which will lead to a drastic transformation. The way we are looking at this is from a very materialistic point of view, that this is causing so much of disaster and destruction and the deaths and all of that. But then there is a hidden thing behind it. It is, we do not have to fear it. We are going through a revolution. We are going through what is called as ascension. The consciousness is evolving. Okay, we need to raise our frequency. And all right, so on ascension, maybe I'll make another video. This was just a little glimpse of that I wanted to give you. So I also started studying Vedic astrology. Meanwhile, initially I didn't believe in astrology either, but then as I started studying and I checked my own life, I went retrospective and I checked the difficult times that I was going through, and I matched it with the astrological time that I was going through, the dashas, the Mahadasha, Antardasha, and so on. And eerily, crazily, it so accurately started matching. The difficult times, I was going through a difficult astrological time. When I had my achievements and good times, I was going through a good astrological time. And it made so much sense. It started making so much sense that I've completely now come to believe in astrology. See, I'm a person who does not believe anything just like that. I need evidence. I need proof. I'm scientific and I'm very logical. And I have got evidence from the universe. I've had so many experiences in so many ways that probably I'll have to write a book to share all of that, I cannot tell this just over the video, but then a scientific person, a medical doctor, if it comes to you and tells you such things, I hope sincerely that you're going to take me seriously. And I have no affiliation with any political party. I do not work for BJP or for PM Modi or anyone. All right, I'm just a very simple person, a simple citizen like everybody else, and I'm just in my own world. The reason why I have come out now finally after such a long pause is because I have been guided to come out and to, encourage people, to motivate people, to help them feel positive and to raise their frequency. So everything is in this world made up of energy. You break down our body also back to an atom. What is an atom? If it's just energy. It is electron, protons, and neutrons, and there's so much of space in it. This is all quantum mechanics. This is not just something I'm making up, right? If you read up on quantum mechanics, you read on double slit experiment, and there are many other things also the scientists are working on and finding so many things. You will come to an understanding that that there is so much more which we are not aware of. Okay, so now why? Okay, all of this I've made my point just to emphasize that what I'm going to say next, please listen to it carefully. And my whole point was to build a credibility for myself, and I hope that I have been successful in doing that. All right, so when Modi ji asked us on 22nd March to clap our hands and come out in gratitude as a nation, the whole intention of that was to bring a collective vibration of gratitude, which is an extremely, extremely positive vibration. All right, and in the past, doctors have been beaten up. There have been many cases, and I'll tell you, the medical fraternity has not been happy. Being a doctor, I can tell you, we have been very disgruntled and unhappy with the way people, cause destruction, and they beat up doctors and they break things in the hospital and so on. Yes, there are many corporate hospitals and doctors also who are not practicing correctly. But then that does not mean that every doctor is bad, right? One has to respect for what they're doing. So this was Modi ji's way of encouraging, appreciating and applauding the medical doctors who are going to be playing a very major role in the coming time, who are and who will be. We have come to a realization that we are soldiers with machine guns or with tanks and with all the weapons, with the finest and the most sophisticated weapons, is not going to be of any use to combat the virus. We have to now defeat this virus through our humanity by coming collectively forward. You see what is nature doing to us? You see what this tiny invisible virus doing to us? Yes, it has kept us all physically distant, but energetically it is bringing us together. It is bringing us in oneness. The entire world is now fighting against one virus in unity, which we totally lacked before. All this while we have always fought against each other. We have always done backstabbing or bad mouthing and whatnot, right? We and our neighbors and all. But see, today all of us are compelled, forced to come together and fight against this virus. So spiritually, this virus is actually bringing in unity, and it is helping humanity to come together in oneness. So that day on 22nd March, the whole idea was to bring in a collective high vibration of gratitude, which is extremely powerful, really very powerful. You can do your own Google search and check for it. Gratitude is one thing which can bring in miracles. Okay, now I'm not saying that the virus will suddenly disappear. No, it will do what it has to do. It will run its course. But by doing this, we are individually elevating our own vibrational frequency. And when you bow down to God in prayer, don't you say, thank you, God, for everything that you have blessed me with? You do that, right? So similarly, this was a gesture of gratitude, and this was the logic behind this. The logic which most people miss, and they only see with the physical activity that is being performed. Okay, so that was then. Now, why 5th April, Modi ji is asking us to come out and light the diya exactly for 9 minutes and at 9 p.m.? There's a spiritual reason behind this. Many of you will ridicule, again, astrology, but then let me tell you, astrology is for real. I am someone, a medical doctor, very scientific, very logical, from a Muslim background, telling you that astrology is for real, Vedic astrology is for real. I hope that you will take me seriously. And I'm not a professional astrologer as yet, so please, this is not an advertisement that I want you to come to me for consultation or I'm trying to promote myself. No, I'm still studying, okay? I'm still studying, and I do not plan to pursue astrology in a professional manner. I'm studying it because I want to study, just like I'm studying so many other things. I'm a certified yoga teacher now, so I've studied yoga. I continue to study that. I'm learning Sanskrit now. So these are my passions, and I'm pursuing that, and I'm studying because that's what I love to do. I love to study. So the 9 minutes signifies the 9 grahas, the 9 planets which are used in astrology. And this is to appease. Now, in the month of December 2019, there was an astrological event that happened, which was really very heavy on the universe. There was a conjunction. That means 6 planets came together in one house at a time. And while I wondered what is this going to bring. And while we were all like oblivious going on in our daily lives over here, well, a massive virus had, massive destruction had already was happening in China because of the outbreak of this virus. We were unaware of it. That's a different story. But then it had begun. The effects of that conjunction, that planetary event, astrological event, is showing its effects now in a more major manner, in a mass scale. And even as I speak, the astrological combination even now is not good, because we have Shani, we have Mangal, and we have Brihaspati together in the Makar Rashi, and Rahu and Ketu are not in favorable nakshatras either. There is also one more planet which is called as Pluto, which Vedic astrology doesn't take into consideration, but Pluto is also part of this conjunction. This conjunction is a deadly conjunction. Conjunction means when more than two planets or more than 2 planets, when they come together in close proximity, they can lead to very disastrous effects. So this is what is happening. So now probably the aim of this practice is to appease the planets, to do what is called as Graha Shanti. So this is one thing. Spiritually, it is going to again raise your vibration as you light diya, as you light the, the light dispels darkness, right? We do that on Diwali. And in our prayers also, we do that. We always ask God that dispel the darkness from my heart, from my being, and bring me, illuminate my mind, illuminate my soul, illuminate my being, So this is a gesture. Also, this gesture is also about unity, that together we are united. And when we light this diya, this is going to dispel the darkness which is casted upon us by this virus. But astrologically, this is the significance. So the 9, why the 9? So that we can appease all the 9 grahas. 9 is also a number indicating of completion. It is end, because in the single digits, 9 is the last digit. After that, we come on to double digits. And as per numerology also, this is correct. There is also something else that is happening on the 4th. Now, if you see numerologically, 4, 4 and 2020. It's 4, 4, and when you add to 2020, it is 4. So this is like 444, okay? So energy portal is opening up above, us, and there is going to be a massive cosmic energy waves which are going to be transmitted to Earth for the elevation of humanity, for the elevation of collective consciousness. This phenomena will continue even on the 5th of April. I don't know if Modi ji is aware of this or whether he is being made aware of this or not, but I am aware of it. There are many people world over who are spiritually inclined into meditation. They are also aware of it. Compared to the world's population, the number of these people is really very, very small. But we are aware, and we have been looking forward to this date of 4th April and 5th April. So, you will not feel anything different in your daily routine life. You will not feel, because you are not connected with these things, because you are so physically connected with your own existence. If you're spiritually connected, then you will understand what I'm talking about, and you're going to feel it. If you sit in meditation, you will actually feel this strong vibrations. If you're not into meditation, if you're not into spiritual practices, then you're not going to feel it. But there is going to be a subtle transformation that will happen world over. This subtle transformation is not going to be visible overnight or in a very short period of time. It's not like the coronavirus is going to disappear or suddenly we are going to be all, celebrating. No, this will go through its own phase. It will, as per astrology, some people are saying it's going to go on to September. Some people are saying June. I really don't know. But I know that it will run its own course, and this entire year is heavy on entire humanity. The virus, the economic implications, and so on. 2021 onwards, we will have a breather and things will get better. So during this whole period, there will be a lot of transformation that each one of us will go at an individual level. Old way of being will just break apart. There is going to be massive reforms in terms of our work structure, in terms of many, many things, relationships, our thought processes, we are being forced to introspect right now. We are being forced to stay back in our own homes, and to realize what we have been doing to Mother Nature, what we have done to animals, and many other things, right? So what you're going through this isolation period. You are being forced now to look within, to introspect, or just to sit by yourself and to question something that you haven't done for so long. But now the situation is forcing you to do it. So you are going through an inner transformation, whether you realize it or not, irrespective. Now, depending upon individual soul evolution and individual awareness, a person will go through the transformation. I have gone through this transformation already. I know what it is. It is not easy. It is difficult. But then the soul has to evolve, and at the end of the day, that is all that we are here for. Contrary to what we think otherwise, that we come here only just to take birth, we take our education, we get married, we work, we make money, we have our achievements and all that glories, and then, so on, and then we die. Question yourself, does it make sense? What is the point of this, right? Coming and going. If you're a Hindu and you believe in reincarnation, then what is the point of coming with multiple lifetimes again and again and again? Again, idea is not just to live this mundane life. The idea is spiritual evolution. It is about soul evolution. And only when your soul evolves, when your soul grows and learns its lessons, you keep progressing. Otherwise, you're just going to be stuck in this cycle of life and death forever, and you will never come out of it, right? So we are at a time now that we are being forced and compelled to evolve, to break out of our limitations of our mind and ego, and to grow and evolve. This is a transformative phase, and this is not pretty. It is difficult. It will break you. It will make you go through so much. But stay strong. Stay strong. Know that this is for your highest good, irrespective of what's breaking down around you, the suffering and whatever. Understand that in the from a higher perspective, this is good for all of us. This is good for you individually. Stay strong. Please do not indulge in negative talks. Do not indulge in fighting with anyone. And pray, meditate, donate whoever, wherever you can. Help whoever you can. And stay in a positive vibration. Stay in hope. Stay in gratitude. Stay in oneness. And know that we will get through this as one humanity. This is not anymore about borders. This is not about political, geographical borders, race, religion. This is not about that. This is about just one humanity against the virus. The virus, if you look at it, it is not our enemy really, though it appears like our enemy, but it is our friend because it is helping us evolve. So with this, I will take leave, and I really hope and pray to each one of you that please stop mocking PM Modi and stop asking questions for which you do not have an understanding, you do not have answers. And please do come out on the 5th of April and let us show our unity to the universe and light the lamp, the candle, or in whichever way, express your light, and be there, be present. Pray to whichever God you pray. Pray for all of humanity. Pray for your well-being, the well-being of your loved ones, the well-being of your enemies also, and for everyone. And pray that our entire humanity gets illuminated. Thank you so much. I'll take leave now. Namaste.